Botta with 54 seconds. I'm the drummer, I'll just ramble. Right now I'm playing some 65 Ringo finish, the Black Oyster Ludwigs. 22, 13, 16 with a hand-hammered Ludwig brass snare. I used to be a dyed-in-the-wool Gretsch guy because those drums really sing. But the problem with that is when you're in a live situation, the sustain becomes a real issue. It's just like having a guitar, you know, it's like how much sustain does an electric guitar really have? It has some, but then you plug it into an amplifier and turn around and it sustains for days. That's something you really don't want with a drum kit. So that's why I use these older drums now, because they're deader, they're punchier, so that, you know, when you're dealing with, you know, a drum monitor about this tall, you know, and maybe, you know, Texas headphones, you know, you got one on each side of you, it's not going to cause the drums to sympathetically resonate to the point where they have to start gating you and messing with the tone that you've already arrived at. It is largely due to the construction. They have, the older Ludwigs have 3-ply shells, but they have a reinforcement ring which is about ½ inch thick, and the bevel on it is really curved, and once they get older, it's it gets flatter and more of the wood touches the drum head and it mutes it more. And the bearing edge, exactly. Yeah, the Gretsches have a 30-degree bearing edge and they're kind of a good compromise, you know, as far as like, you know, say a Yamaha or DW and they go 45 degrees and that's sharper so they sustain more, which is great if you're playing drums in your bedroom and you can sit there and go, oh, they sound so good, but as soon as you put a microphone in front of it, the sound guy's going, I don't have enough gates to deal with your tone. So, you know, then you run into, well, you know, some sound guys love your tone because the drums have great tone, and some guys hate your tone because it's hard to deal with. So these drums, I mean, the bearing edges, you know, they've gotten really rounded because they've been, you know, I mean, the drums are 43 years old. So the bearing edges, A, are wider to begin with, and B, they've worn down, and the glue starts to separate. So it's just really the quality kind of, as the quality decreases of the tone, the functionality of it in a live, loud setting improves.
So basically, as they deteriorate, they get better.
Amen. Yeah. I found some Ludwigs cheap, this kit, for like 500 bucks with a Superphonic, and it was ridiculous, so I bought them because they looked so good. And I wanted bigger, I have smaller sizes in the Gretsch. I have 20, 10, I have a 12, which I never use, and then a 14. And so I wanted bigger drums because louder rock and roll stuff, you know, bring your arms up, hit them harder. They like to be hit, you know, bigger drums like to be hit harder. So I got bigger drums, and then I discovered this after having had those drums. I still use the Gretsch for fusion gigs and things that nobody will ever hear. But as far as the rock gigs, yeah, the Ludwigs are the ones that are most functional. Dave Grohl plays them. If he does it, I'm gonna do it. Okay. You know, if I was playing these gigs, you know, I'd probably get a reissue Ludwig because they're built the same, and I can get the same, and I wouldn't be as worried about breaking them because they're new. But yeah, I really don't know. I still love to play those Gretsches, and you know, as far as my favorite make, those are the ones. But as far as live playing, and actually studio playing too, it's like every situation where I'm in front of microphones, the Ludwigs seem to work better.